Hey there viewers, welcome back to another episode of VGAPR Garage. Today we're going to be working on this 2005 Ford F-150. So this truck needs new brakes. I've already done the other side. What I did first was, because the other side actually needed a new caliper, came over here to make sure I didn't need to get another one before I went to the store. Put a flathead screwdriver in here, compressed it to make sure that this caliper was going to be good, and it's good. First thing we want to do is remove these two 10mm bolts that go through the guide pin and into the bracket. Let's go ahead and get that done. So now that the guide pins are free, this caliper is ready to pop on off. This front pad has a tang on, I believe, both sides, so you're going to want to pop it off from the bottom. And there we go. You want to be careful not to drop it. You can take your hands behind the rear facing pad and pull it out, and there we go. Go ahead and remove the other pad. Make sure these are still movable, and they are, but they're really tight, so we're going to pop them out. Obviously put some grease in them, dielectric grease. And the next thing we want to do is fully compress this piston, so I've got the tool for it, and on the right setting. All right. It's nice and compressed. Make sure the boot's still good. Looks good. We're going to want to clean this caliper up, which we will do. I'm going to go ahead and try to pop these guide pins out. Yep, they're pretty rusted, which means I'm going to have to spend quite a bit of time cleaning them, because they're supposed to just slide on out. But yeah, they're pretty rusted. Rather than have you guys watch me store, I mean, literally you just push and they should come out. If they don't, that's gonna suck. Like, it's gonna suck for me now. But I'll go ahead and get these out. Alright, it wasn't worth trying to clean those old ones up, so I grabbed some from the core for the other side. I did put some dielectric grease down in these boots, so it's as simple as just taking the guide pin and working it through. There we go. And then gonna push it through a little bit more, because you want to make sure that the boot is nicely seated, there we go, in the groove of the guide pin. And the same thing for the other side. Dielectric grease came out. I'm gonna push it through a little bit, try to put that back in. We want to keep this nice and lubed up. That's fine though. And then you just want to make sure that the boot is stuck in the grooves on both sides of your guide pin. I did also take the time to take a wire wheel and clean the caliper up best I could. So on the back side, there is a rubber grommet that you need to remove simply using a flathead and prying it back will work. And it's okay if it goes inside. So down in that hole, you will see, hopefully, the gear to the emergency brake shoe adjuster. You need to take something like a flathead and close that adjuster so that you can get focus, so that you'll be able to get the rotor off. So through the back, I have to make sure that the adjuster is fully closed, but the rotor isn't coming off. Some grinding, but it's fully, the brake shoes are no longer pushing up against the inside of the rotor, but it's not coming off, so it's stuck on there. I am going to put some hearing protection on. If you don't have a impact hammer, a regular hammer will do, but I have an impact hammer, so I'm going to use it. We want to remove your brake pad shims, and flathead and a hammer did the job fantastically. Now is a good time to go ahead and take your access hole cover and put that back in, because you can do all your adjusting now from right here. So go ahead and cover that back up. That way you don't forget it. You definitely don't want to forget it, because living here in the salt belt or any place where there's high, moisture, water, you don't want water getting inside this area and rusting it all up, because then it won't work and it can cause it to fail quite a bit sooner. You don't want to have to pay for that. So yeah. So now's a great time to clean up the surface where the shims and the pad are going to go. So I'm going to take my file. It's my favorite time. You want to apply anti-seize to the surfaces where the shims are going to go, and to the hub surface so that your rotor doesn't stick to it. Our new shims and go ahead and put put them on the bracket, and then take a hammer and tappy tap tap them. Them into place. Now, go ahead and grab our beautiful new rotor. And this rotor, which I love, and I'm getting for all my customers now, is a coated rotor. The whole thing is coated. And if I can do this. The whole thing is coated so that as the brake pad will wear in where it needs to, but everywhere else will stay coated so you don't get that rust. So now, to adjust the brake shoes, what you want to do is go ahead and put your rotor on. Then go ahead and spin it. And you want to feel for some drag. There's no drag. You also can look on the inside of the rotor. Here at the bottom, there's only a light skim of it. So we want to adjust the brake shoes out. Grab your rotor, pop it back on. All the way, feel for drag. Not really feeling any. Go ahead and take a look on the inside. Then we are getting a little bit more, especially on that side. But let's go ahead and work it out again. Let's go ahead and turn it. Kind of feel a little bit more drag. Let's go ahead and do it a little bit more because we did compress the brake shoes all the way in. There we go. Can hear a drag. And then when we look on the inside of the rotor, we've got almost contact all the way around, which is good. You only want a slight drag. Slight drag. Alright. Now it's time to load the caliper. So for the inboard facing, we've got some nice tabs on it, and I like to lube up those tabs. That way they'll go in easier, and when it comes time to change them, they'll most likely come out easier. All you want to do is take them, and you might have to use your fingers to push the tabs in. One or two of them, and just push the whole thing in. That's it. Super easy, guys. Don't cut it off. You definitely want to have those there. They help retain the brake shoe or the brake pad. Then for the outer pad, all you want to do is push it down, and there are grooves that it goes into. Super easy. Now, you simply want to take your pad and work it down. Move you guys down. So see, we have the tabs here. Let's go ahead and take our brake. Make sure not to twist the line. And push back your guide pins so there's room. Push them on. They're giving up a little bit of a fight. There we go. Whoop. guide pin fights a little bit. Alright, so there we got the top on. Now you want to make sure that your guide pin's also pushed up and out of the way on the rear. Then you have a spring, and I think, nope, just going to push it down. And this isn't normally how I would do it, but I want to give you guys a good enough view. Basically, I'm just pushing it down, and then now the guide pin's kind of hung up, and then there we go. So now everything's in place. Now you want to take your caliper bolts, slide them in, line everything up, and tighten everything down. Oop. Alright. Alright, so that's how you replace the rear rotors and pads on a 2005 Ford F-150. I think it goes from like even 2003 to like maybe 2014. It goes a pretty long way. Some things that I did do for this customer is these are actually Super Duty brakes, trying to help them last a little bit longer in case this person tows or whatever. If you guys have any questions or comments, put them down there. I get back to everybody, even if they are negative. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why. Thank you guys for tuning into my episode, because there are many YouTubers that you could be viewing, but you're choosing to view mine, so I appreciate it. Links to follow me will also be in the description. Clean your tools off, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.